Hey guys, this is Dr. 420 Gaming, and today I'm going to be showing off a deck profile for a Destiny End Dragoons turbo deck. I designed, I went across the internet and I saw a whole bunch of different versions of this deck, and I basically tried to update it to the current meta as much as possible. So, basically the whole point of this deck, if you don't already know, you're supposed to summon out 3 Destiny End Dragoons, and once per turn you target one monster your opponent controls, you pop it, and they take damage. You can't conduct your battle phase turn to use that effect. And during your standby phase, if he's in your graveyard, you banish one Destiny Hero card from your graveyard to special summon him. So, pretty good effect. He has 3,000 attack as well. But what you're mainly going to do isn't just summon him, but make these rank 10s here. So, let's start off with the main deck. Only 15 monsters here, 3 Dogma, 3 Plasma. They're the materials for this guy, and you basically need to run 3 of them. They're targets for Destiny Draw and Trade-In as well, which is basically the engine for the deck. Then you have 3 Destiny Hero Diamond Dudes, and his effect is useful at sometimes. You reveal the top card of your deck, and if it's a normal spell card, you get to send it to the grave, and then I think it's the next turn in your main phase you can activate that normal spell. So what you're going to see is that lots of these are normal spells, so kind of gives them a bit more utility than normal. So you have a pretty good chance into drawing normal spells and being able to use his effect. But again, he's mainly just target for Destiny Draw. And sometimes you can make rank 4s with him. It's not really that useful though. So, next you have 3 Curry Bandits. Again, this sort of helps push the deck along, because if not, it'd be pretty slow. Helps you get out the Terraformings, the Fusion Gates, and the Chain Materials. Those are basically the most important cards in the deck. You have 2 Destiny Hero Doomlord. Just another target for D-Draw, but he's also kind of useful because his effect, you get to banish one monster your opponent controls, and then 2 turns later it returns to their field. He has pretty low attack, but again, you get rid of problems. You can get rid of some problems cards with this, like if your opponent has, I don't know, Beals or something on board, or Winda or something, you get rid of it for a couple of turns until you can sort of get your bearings and make your play. Then 1 Defender. He has 2,700 defense, and again, just a target for D-Draw, but you can use him to stall a bit if you need so. Raigeki, you know, it's just Raigeki. And again, he's not that great normally, but with Diamond Dude he's a bit better. Allure of Darkness, again, draw engine. 1 Rhoda. Rhoda's pretty useful because he adds these guys to the hand, and sometimes you need to get a target for D-Draw on your hand because you don't have one. Or you just need to get rid of that 1 problem card. Again, 1 Rhoda just sort of boosts the deck. I feel that you don't really need to run any more than 1, but I mean, I guess if you want to try it out, you could try running more than 1. I don't think it's very useful, though. 3 Trade-In, just to draw cards, basically. It's a useful card. And 3 D-Draw. In total, those 3 cards are basically the engine for the deck. 1 Terraforming to search out your 2 Fusion Gates. I feel like 2 Fusion Gates and 1 Terraforming is better, because, again, Diamond Dude. 3 Pot, just sort of help push the deck along. And you don't really need to worry about special summoning because you're going to set this card and wait a turn, which is probably one of the weakest points of the deck. 2 Forbidden Lance, just sort of to make sure that your plays go through, defend your monsters. 3 Scapegoats. This is a useful stall card, and what I've actually noticed that has been come in handy in a couple of duels is sometimes you'll have this card and you'll have Plasma on the field, Plasma in your hand, and you can special summon. Since you can't tribute these for a tribute summon, but you can tribute them for a special summon, you could tribute 3 of those tokens and summon Destiny Hero Plasma, and his effect is pretty game-breaking. It negates the effects of all your monsters, of your opponent's monsters, and you can basically, it's like Relinquish, you equip 1 monster they control and you get half that attack. So he's pretty useful. He's like a second win condition in some ways. Again, it's not going to happen a whole lot, but it can happen at times, and it can be pretty useful. It works to a lesser extent with Dogma, but with Dogma you have to tribute a Destiny Hero monster, so it's not as useful. 2 Fusion Gate, just because you need to be able to fuse these guys, and then Chain Material. Chain Material is probably the most important card in this deck, because you have to, in order for the deck to work well, you have to be able to banish them out of your deck, and that's what this card lets you do. You can banish from graveyard, hand, and deck, so you can basically make 3 Destiny End Dragoons in 1 turn, and that's pretty insane, pretty useful. And then to top it off, you have 2 Trap Stuns, and, well, Trap Stun, it's a useful card. It helps your plays go through in the draw phase. What you'll do is that you'll just do Chain Material, and then in a separate chain, you'll do Trap Stun. Next, 3 Destiny End Dragoon, and yeah, this is basically the boss monster of the deck. He's pretty awesome. I already went over his effects, so I'm not going to go over it again. 3 Masked Hero Darklaw. So, if you're surprised, I'm citing in 3 Mask Change. So, yeah. He's pretty good against some matchups because you basically banish all their cards, so it helps out Burning Abyss, it helps out against Shaddoll's. It's a fairly awesome card against them. 1 Super Dimensional Robot Galaxy Destroyer, nukes your opponent's spell and trap zone, and they can't chain effects. He's not that great if they're going to solemn it or bottomless it when you summon, which is why I run Forbidden Lance, to sort of help these cards out so then I don't have to waste all 3 of my Destiny End Dragoons when I first summon them out. Sky Palace Gangaridai. He's sort of like Gustav Max in that you pop a card and you inflict 1,000. So he's okay. You don't really go for him much. You're more likely going to go for this because this inflicts more damage and you can attack the turn you use the effect. So yeah, he's pretty good. Castel, just a regular rank 4. These are just, you know, good rank 4s that I decided to run. You don't really need to run anything else. So these guys are pretty useful. Mask Change, I already explained for the side deck. 3 MST, useful against the Klee matchup. And just lots of decks that play annoying back row that is annoying to deal with. 3 System Down. So this card, some people think it's stupid. I personally love it because the problem with other cards that you might side against Klees is that they're not going to come in handy later on in the duel, late game. And I, for one, have really bad luck when I draw into cards, so I like this because I can use it at basically any point in the duel. It's a pretty useful top deck. You banish all their machine monsters, so if they've established their board of pendulums, you get rid of them and they don't go to the extra deck, they go to the banish zone, so they can't get them back next turn. So pretty useful card. Next you have Noblemen of Crossout, and this helps against Burning Abyss, sort of, but mainly for Shaddoll's. And yeah. Then Mirror Force, Bottomless, and Torrential. Since Destruction isn't really good this format, I've mainly been siding out one of these. I've mainly been playing these 3, the big 3, I guess, if you want to call it. These 2 are great against Klees, and so is this. But again, against Burning Abyss and Shaddoll's, these cards aren't very useful at all. So, yeah, I think that just about sums it up for the deck profile. Thanks for watching, and if you have any suggestions, any comments, make sure to leave them down in the comments below. As always, check out my Facebook and Twitter, and remember to subscribe. This is Dr. 420 Gaming. See you guys later.